Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Audiopocalypse mini set card review, and we have Deathlight cards and Hunter cards to review, and they're also Deathlight and Hunter cards because dual class. Isn't that funny how that thing works? There's some insane power creep, there's some insane cards as always. We're gonna review them, and if you want to win them, we have our giveaway going on where I'm giving away 2 mini sets, the golden ones, the expensive ones, out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment in the video, in the description below. Be subscribed to the channel. We are less than 500 subs away from the next 1,000, and if we hit that milestone by next Wednesday, I'll add another really expensive mini set to that giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So starting off with the Hunter cards, which are a couple of them are also Demon Hunter, or sorry, Deathlight. I'm never going to stop calling Deathlight Demon Hunter. But first we have the one exclusive Hunter card, a new secret. I actually called that in the prediction video. Anyways, I didn't call what the secret would be. I'm not that smart. Hidden Meaning, a 2 mana secret, and important to note, these secrets do not have upgraded versions anymore. Tavish not updated in Wild, so that's consistent. That was being, they don't typically update wild cards like that, so you cannot find an upgraded version of this off Tavish regardless. 2 mana secret. When your opponent ends their turn with no mana, so they've spent all their mana, they don't want to die to the new ETC, they don't want to blow up, so this helps counter that. You force them into spending their mana even harder. Summon a random 3-cost minion. So it's very similar to the secret where if your hero gets attacked, that would summon a 3-cost minion, but it would take the damage. But this, you just get a clean, full health, 3-cost minion. It doesn't proactively do anything, it's just there. I feel like that's a little bit worse than, defending yourself. That could come in clutch, like against a big minion, a big weapon, etc., etc. But this isn't particularly terrible. There just hasn't been a need to run secrets in Hunter for quite some time, and I don't see this taking the slot of what Hunter has been doing. Mainly it's been Face Hunter or mid-range Big Beast style of Hunter. Both are decent. Face Hunter in particular is actually quite underrated, but yeah, I don't see this slotting into either of them, and I don't think it's particularly amazingly strong. It'll likely go off on curve because your opponent's not going to want to float mana just to play around a 3-drop. But the thing is, it's just a 3-drop. An average 3-drop is probably a 3/3. I would think in stats, maybe you get high roll, of course. You could get the Ranger that dies, the 5/4 Reborn. But overall, in Standard Wild, I think this is a 2-star card at best. I don't see it seeing a ton of play unless secrets become worth running again, but there needs to be more payoffs and good stuff for that to happen in Standard in particular. So yeah, I'll give it a 2 across the board. We have the Yelling Yodeler. If we're talking about power creep, got some power creep. This is a dual class card for Hunter and Deathlight, so of course Hunter is gonna get the benefit of teaming up with Deathlight, right? 4 mana 3/4 undead. Battle Cry. Trigger a friendly minion's death rattle twice. There's a Hunter legendary, Princess Ahurahan, which is a 5 mana 6/5. It triggers a friendly minion's death rattle once. It has better stats, tempo, I guess, but my goodness. There's also a 3 mana 3/3 Hunter got later that was a common that did the same effect as her on, so it's already been power crap before to an extent, but this is insane. Double death rattle on a 4-drop. Thing is, I don't know what you're hitting. You got in Deathlight, you could hit the get your 9/9 boar, right, with the head card. I can't remember its card. It's seen so little play, I can't remember. It's such a cool card. Cage-Head, I think. But it's pretty expensive, right? But if there's any good cheap death rattle, maybe an egg? Is it good on an egg? I don't know. Double death rattle is pretty nutty on a proactive card. We've seen it where, the death rattle activates twice on death, but not necessarily on a battle cry. And I don't know, Mine Death Knight, is that going to be a thing now? Naval Mine is still in Standard. There's Death Growl and all of that. Maybe this puts it over the top. I don't want that because Naval Mine is so Omega not fun. But I don't know. I feel like something with this is going to work. Probably more Deathlight than Hunter, to be honest with you, right now, but you never know. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard and Wild, just because this effect just scares me. Double Death Rattle for just 4 mana just seems pretty obscene power creep to me. It really does. So yeah, definitely going to give that playable rating in Standard and Wild. And then we have Hollow Hound, a 6 mana 3/6 undead beast. It has lifesteal and rush, so not bad. It's still, you know, premium stats would be like a 6/7. Nice stats for the cost. But it also damages minions next to whomever this attacks. That's a lot of heal. This hits 3 minions, says 9 healing. Great arena card. I don't know if it has enough impact in Standard. Like Hunter and Deathlight can't really hand buff it. If they could hand buff this in like some reliable way, like Dire Frenzy and Wild, you know, it's a beast and all that, you can bring this back with the legendary spell in Hunter, which is nice because it's proactive, because it's got rush, it gives you heal. So that's probably a pretty decent addition to that style of deck. I just don't think you're hard running this card. It just screams arena to me, but it does represent a lot of healing. We know Death Knight likes to heal, and Hunter not so much, but again, the Stranglethorn Heart, it can see play. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard Wild, but I think it might have a shot to be like one of those sleeper cards that might just pop in and be playable. And courtesy of Ben Hearthstone, congrats on the card reveal to him, we have some more Death Knight cards. Like I said, Dead Air. I don't know. I think this is the first ever Frost Unholy card. Kind of interesting. It's a 2 mana spell. Destroy your undead, re-summon them. So this is like your entire board. You can do some wombo combos, death rattle shenanigans, all sorts of stuff. If they have rush, they come back with that. They come back with charge if it's like your Blight Boar or whatever. And I'm obsessed with Caged. It's gonna see play someday. Really, I feel like it's a created by option, probably. Again, this Death Rattle package hasn't really worked out yet, but for 2 mana, it's very cheap to be able to like destroy your own board, resummon it. Plus, that's another corpse generator. Of course, that's always, we've learned generating corpses can be quite valuable for the Deathlight class. I really don't know what it slots in well. Oh my god, what it slots well in right now. I just don't know. So I'm gonna give it a like, especially almost every good Deathlight deck is triple. This is a card that'll probably get better. Well, it will get better over time as there's more like single rune support, but as it stands, I gotta give it a 2. Yeah, I won't give it a 1 just because it is for 2 mana, I think pretty darn insane, but I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I just don't see it making a rainbow go over the top, right? Like you put in rainbow, that works, but that deck ain't really there. We have Cold Feet, so we're getting Deathlight Hunter cards and Deathlight Paladin, so we get multiple mixtures here. Cold Feet, enemy minions cost 5 more next turn. So this is a 2 mana Loatheb spell for minions. Is that good? I don't think so. You can make minions, I mean, against a minion heavy deck, it's super annoying. Can lock them out a bit. Against spell heavy decks, not as good. But a lot of decks are pretty, you know, spell heavy, but you're spending 2 mana effectively to do that. We saw this with Rebuke in Paladin back in the day. It was a 2 mana spell where you would Loatheb. It would make your enemy spells cost 2 more. Or 5 more the next turn. That barely saw play, and I'd argue that's better than this in most situations, but maybe in that, like, yeah, that aggro-ish mirror, that tempo-ish mirror, this is a lot better. But you know what? Deathlight discovers a lot of cards. This is probably a school teacher card, and I don't think Paladin's gonna hard run this. But as noted by Ben here, this is the first ever Frost spell for Paladin, so get your, what is it, the multicaster synergy going in Standard. You could draw some, or Wild, you could, multicaster's not in Standard, but in Wild, you could draw some extra cards. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. Again, I don't think it's terrible. It's a niche tech card that I just don't think you're slotting in. You're probably discovering it, And then lastly, we have the cool Ghoul, a 4 mana, 3/1 Divine Shield Reborn. So it's like Scarlet Crusader, but with Reborn for Deathlight and Paladin. Super annoying minion. This is, I wouldn't underrate this one because this is really annoying. You get the 3/1 with Divine Shield, it has Reborn, so you gotta take the Divine Shield off, you gotta kill the minion, then it comes back with the Divine Shield, you gotta take the Divine Shield off and then kill the minion. That's a very frustrating minion to kill. Very sticky. I could see this definitely slotting in to possibly, yeah, like the pure paladin that runs the Divine Shield package. Like that's really gonna help you draw with your Jitterbug, and you have the Funkkin that can buff it up for some plus attack. I see it as a better paladin card than a Death Knight card. Maybe Unholy wants to play it because it's just sticky and annoying, but probably not worth it at the end of the day. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. It's just such a frustratingly annoying minion. It doesn't have the, it should have been the Annoyo Ghoul, or so, I don't know. It just feels like an annoying minion to get rid of. But it's just something that I could see slotting into certain decks, particularly Paladin, and we'll see how it plays out. So I'll give it 3 in standard, probably 2 in Wild. I don't think that strategy quite works in Wild quite as much, but you never know. So there's a card reveal later today, by the way. Paladin, so I guess they're like chaining, maybe Paladin goes with Shaman, and then Shaman goes to the next class. Maybe that's how they're doing it. May do a review on that, depending on how spicy it is. If not, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.